different. Certainly there are more Republicans than there were last time.
I agree. There's a lot more Republicans.
How do you think that happened, Bruce?
Well, you saw the ad just like I did with Liz asking the people from the Democratic Party to change over so they could vote for her in the primary. So some of them are certainly doing that.
And there seems to be a little backlash at that, but it's part of the system. Some thoughts?
Exactly the way you.
Right now, he says, I have a feeling we're going to see some thoughts to change it.
Probably will see some legislation come up after this election.
Maybe some legislation. So, well, Dr. Franklin, where are we on the registration thing?
Well, I think in a virtual one-party state, Hawaii is the opposite, mostly Democrat. You're going to have an incentive for minority party members and independents to try to have a voice in the primary. Because the danger, as you mentioned, turnout is usually low in primaries. You tend to get the more extreme candidates often win those. And so this gives a chance maybe for more moderate candidates to have a better shot at winning the primaries than going on to November.
All right, last thought on that. What percentage do you think changed? I mean, of the Democrats? Do we think 25% of the Democrats here? 15?
I think the Secretary of State already came out with numbers saying there's over 10,000 crossover votes so far. Now, I'm going to take a different perspective here than my colleagues and have an optimistic approach on this, and hopefully all the messaging we've been doing in the Republican Party over the years has convinced people that that's the party for them, and that they'll actually stick around and become members of the party.
That is very optimistic indeed.
Be part of it. I mean, we're the Big Ten party, so hopefully they're seeing conservative values and principles are the way to go, and they're coming to vote down the line for Republicans.
All right, real quickly here, some issues you think people went to the polls with today in mind?
Gas prices, inflation,
Jobs,
yeah, absolutely.
The border certainly is a big thing because people don't like what's going on at the border. Not the gas prices, like Joe said. That's big on everybody's mind.
But they dropped $1 over the last few months.
Well, nobody's going anywhere, I think, is what the problem is now. So I don't know if that's a problem, but people just aren't traveling like they were.
Stay in Wyoming and tour Wyoming.
Well, also, if you raise it $3 and drop it $1, you're still not too happy.
We're the cheapest in the country. I just did a big tour around the U.S.
Good, I'm glad
we're the cheapest in the country.
Great.
Really glad
Predictions on Liz Cheney and Harry Degman.
Well, I think first of all, it's going to be much tighter than the polls are showing. This is going to be a close race. It's going to be a competitive race. The voter turnout is just incredible. So I don't think the polls are going to be accurate in this situation. And no matter what, that race is going to be tight, in my opinion.
We seem to be on unusual ground here. What do you think, prediction?
I think polls over the last 3 or 4 election cycles have been somewhat problematic. There's indications that sometimes people are giving answers and doing the opposite of what they're giving the answers to. And so I agree with you. I think the polls, they were unrealistic. I think the Hageman campaign was maybe too optimistic going into this. Yeah. So it is going to be a tighter race, I think, than anticipated.
This is going to be a movable feast all night. We're going to have guests that come in we don't even know yet. I'm sure some of the ones that win will want to come by and talk with us, and we certainly invite them, and we thank you all for being here. We're going to be checking in all throughout the evening. Thank you all.
Thanks.